Thank you, everyone, for coming to our advisory group lesson today. Today we are going to be talking about empathy. And the very first step I want to do is just ask how everyone is doing today.
I'm doing good.
Good. Good. Everyone's doing good. That's great. Great to hear. And I'm also doing pretty well. I had a long day, so I'm a little tired, but that's okay. Today's objective is that you will identify at least 3 acts of empathy. Can anyone define empathy for me? No, that's okay. So empathy is the understanding or the ability to identify with another person's feelings or experiences. So if Ryan had said that he was having a bad day, I would have asked why it was a bad day, and I would have asked about the struggles he might have been having, and then I would show that I care that he was having a bad day, and that I'm concerned and I want to do what I can to make it better, or even just listen and be supportive of his feelings. For an example of an act of empathy, if your friend failed the test, what would you say to help them feel better?
Maybe we can study together.
Maybe we can study together. That is a great example. Something I might say is, I'm really sorry about your grade. I know how hard you studied and how disappointed you must feel. Maybe next time we can study together. So that was a great example. What does being empathetic mean to you? Anyone?
Understanding how someone else feels.
Understanding how others feel. Yep, that is a great answer. So when we put ourselves in the shoes of someone else, we are usually more sensitive to what that other person is feeling or what they are experiencing, which makes us less likely to tease or bully them. Does that sound about right? Yeah, if you can understand how others are feeling, you're not going to be laughing at them for feeling that way. So by teaching and learning from each other and making ourselves more conscious of how others feel, we get to create a more accepting and respectful classroom and school all together. And isn't that just the goal, for everyone to get along and be supportive of each other, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Good. Can anyone think of a time where you wish you had been more empathetic towards someone? No one? No one has anything? You're empathetic all the time?
100%.
Okay. How about a time where maybe you wish someone had shown you more empathy? Has anyone have any experience with being bullied that they would like to talk about? Or have an argument with someone where you felt badly, like you weren't being understood? Yeah, can you tell me about that?
I have fights with my sisters, and I feel like they don't understand where I'm coming from.
Okay. And when you feel like they don't understand where you're coming from, how does that make you feel then?
Frustrated.
Frustrated? That is a great example. Thank you so much for sharing. So what I have for us to do is an Are You Empathetic worksheet. It talks about, it basically gives examples of situations, and then you just reply yes or no to the situations as to how you would react to them. Normally I would do that, but since we aren't together in person today, I think we will just be moving on to the next activity. Though I do have an activity that we can do even though we aren't together. It's called Someone Else's Shoes. It's a role-playing activity, but since I'm not able to share a card with everyone, what I think I'll do is I'm going to read the cards, and then after I read them, we'll just discuss how to be empathetic towards the situation that is being read. So let me just pull up my worksheet here. I'll read the directions really quickly just so we're all on the same page. It's called Someone Else's Shoes. You take one character card and read your card aloud while your partners practice being empathetic listeners. So the first card we have to work with is Marcus is a star quarterback on the school football team. During one of the final games of the season, he was injured badly, so badly that he couldn't play in the rest of the games, nor could he go to school for 3 months. How do you think you could be empathetic with Marcus, the star quarterback?
Maybe take video of the games, and so he could at least see his teammates playing yet in team.
Give him the opportunity to be part of the team yet by letting him watch a video. That's a really great idea. Anyone else have any ideas of how we can be supportive of Marcus?
Offer to take homework to him and help him do it so he can stay up in classes and not get behind since he can't be there in person.
Yeah, that's a really important part, just to make sure that he stays successful in other aspects of his life too, since football isn't going to be something he can thrive in right now, right? That was a great answer. Thank you very much. All right, next example here. All of Violet's friends are constantly talking about the prom, the dresses they're going to buy, and how they're going to do their hair, where they're going to eat. Violet wants to go, but the tickets are expensive and her mom just lost her job. What can we do for Violet as far as being an empathetic listener?
We could give her some ideas on how to earn extra money.
Give her ideas on how to earn extra money? Yes, that would be a great idea.
As her group of friends, maybe go together and give her some money towards the ticket.
Sure, yeah, if everyone chipped in a little bit of money, we can probably earn enough just to buy her a ticket, right? Those are really great ideas. Okay, next example. Chen always admired her friend Lucy's wardrobe. One day, when they were hanging out at Lucy's house, Chen asked to borrow Lucy's expensive blue sweater. Lucy said she could, but then made fun of Chen, telling everyone at school that Chen couldn't afford her own nice clothes. What would we say to Chen in that situation?
Doesn't sound like Lucy's a very good friend.
Maybe Lucy's not a very good friend. Okay. How about what would we say to Lucy if we heard her making fun of Chen? How would we handle that situation?
Tell her that not everybody has parents that can afford to buy them nice things and that she should consider her feelings and not make fun of her.
I think that would be a really great thing to say to Lucy. And how about maybe I would ask Lucy why she would be willing to lend the sweater to her friend and then go behind her back and start making fun of her. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it? No. Okay. So Rochelle was one of 5 students selected to represent her school in a national math competition. The final showdown was between Rochelle's team and another school. The score was tied with only one question remaining. The question went to Rochelle, who got it wrong, allowing the other team to win. What would we say to Rochelle?
That it's okay that she did well enough to get them that far, and she should be proud of herself for that.
She should be proud of herself, that is right, because anyone could have gotten that question wrong, right? Right. Anyone else have anything they can think of to say to Rochelle?
Do better next time.
Maybe do better next time. Yep. Okay. During a school field trip, Juan had a seizure in front of his entire class. He came out of it to find all his classmates staring at him. His doctors told him he has a condition where he could have a seizure any time. What might you say to Juan in an empathetic situation?
That is something that he can't really help. It's a medical condition, so it's nothing to be really worried about.
Nothing to feel ashamed about, maybe, since it's not in his control? Yeah, that's a great idea. What would you say if you maybe saw someone who was making fun of Juan for his seizures? What would you do to come to his defense? The same thing, pretty much, huh? That it isn't Juan's fault, and if it happens, we just need to do what we can, and maybe we could talk to Juan about what his doctor said we should do if he has a seizure in school or outside of school when a friend is around. Maybe just talk to Juan and learn about his medical condition so we can be the best support for him that we can be.
Yes.
Right. Excuse me. Lenny has worked at the same pizza place for over a year and has always done a great job. One day he overcharged a customer by accident. The new boss thought Lenny did it on purpose to pocket the difference and fired him. What might we say to Lenny?
Just sorry that happened to him, and it wasn't his fault, because anyone can make a mistake.
Yeah, I think that's a great response. Not everything is in our control. This was something that just unfortunately happened to Lenny, and I mean, the worst outcome of him getting fired over it happened. And sometimes when we're being empathetic to people, we really just need to listen, and we can't always, there's not always advice we can give, right? Sometimes for me, when I'm feeling upset, I really just need to talk to family or friends. So empathy can look different based on the situation and even just based on the person. Not everybody wants advice. So it's really hard because obviously as friends, we want to do our best to offer advice to them. But what would you do if you were offering advice to a friend and they just got mad at you?
Stop giving advice, maybe give them a little space, and then go and apologize.
Give them some space and then go back and talk to them later. I think that is a great idea. You just don't always know what people are looking for when they're not feeling very well or they're upset about something. So I think some space and then revisiting the situation later in the day is a really great idea. Okay, we'll do a couple more before we move on to our next discussion here. Anita's best friend confided in her about a surprise birthday party she had planned to throw for her brother. Anita accidentally let the secret slip, and now her best friend won't talk to her. What would you do if you were Anita and you accidentally let the secret slip and your friend wasn't talking to you?
Just apologize.
Just apologize?
It was an accident.
Just apologize because it was just an accident. That's right. And what would happen if her friend still wouldn't talk to her? What would you do in the situation? If your friend, you apologize and you said it was an accident, you really didn't mean for it to happen, but your friend won't listen and they're still not talking to you. What do you think you would do then?
Just give them some space and let them cool off.
Give them some space to cool off. I think that is another great situation, just to give them some room and let them be mad for a while, because it's okay to feel mad. Everyone feels mad sometimes, right? Yeah. I sometimes feel mad a couple times during the day, you know? So it's sometimes we do just need to give space so we can be mad for a bit and then we move on. Okay, Sean's brother's ex-girlfriend kissed Sean at a school dance last weekend. Sean did not kiss her back, but he decided not to tell his brother about it just to be safe. Sean's brother found out anyway and is angry with him. So, what do you think Sean should do in this situation where his brother is mad at him?
Tell him the truth about what happened and apologize for not having been the one to tell him.
I think that is a great idea. We need to remember that sometimes when something happens, whether it's our fault or not, that just being honest and telling the truth usually gets us in the least amount of trouble. I know when I was little, my mom always told me that if you tell the truth, you won't get in trouble. I teach the same thing to my daughter, that if she just tells us the truth about something, she won't get in trouble for it. And that can't always be the situation, of course, because there are times where even if you are being honest, sometimes you get in trouble anyway. But overall, I think honesty is the best policy. Can we agree on that one?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. One more. After practicing for months, Kelsey tripped and fell during her routine for the school talent show. One of her classmates, who was using a cell phone to videotape the show, posted the clip of Kelsey's fall on the internet the next day. How do you think Kelsey felt about that? About being the video of her falling being posted on the internet?
Embarrassed.
Embarrassed? Maybe sad? Maybe a little angry at her friend for posting something like that? Okay, I think that was a great exercise. We just have a little bit more before we're finished up for the day. So again, the objective for today's lesson was that today you will identify at least 3 acts of empathy. Normally I would try to meet one-on-one with everyone, but since we're in a group, we'll just do it quickly as a group. Who can give me 1 act of empathy? Maybe one from each of you. So whoever would like to start. Listening, that is a great example. Okay. Apologizing, yes, that is a great example as well.
Just trying to understand the other person's point of view.
Being understanding of someone else's point of view. I think those are 3 really great examples of acting empathetically towards other people. So I just want to thank you all for being such great participants in our lesson today, and I hope you learned a little bit about empathy, and we're going to be building on this again next week at our next advisory lesson. So keep thinking about ways you can be empathetic, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.